So I'm not sure what's going on. All right, well, hopefully you guys got the picture of what's happening, right? The past couple of days, if you guys remember when we talked about Wednesday, we said Wednesday is going to be fairly important. We talked about this value that was there on Wednesday. I'll make sure it doesn't extend it. Let's just not extend any of it. If you guys remember, this is what we talked about, right? We tried multiple times. Friday doesn't count, but Monday we tried. Today we made higher high. We also put in what here? So you put in a lower low in terms of here. You did not create the lows on the dailies, but you did make a higher high and you rejected that. Not a lot of access right on the top, meaning the selling tail. If you look here, this is not something to be excited about, right? So what the market's telling you now, is anyone aware? Where's market taking you now? Far ride.
Back to 825?
Well, they're just telling you, hey, we're in balance. Like we're trying to figure out if we're gonna be accepted here or not, right? From the retail standpoint, there is kind of like a diamond top being built here on a 3-day balance. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to merge these, right, with the previous profiles. And this profile here will merge it as well. It'll just create a poor high. But as you look right now, so you have kind of like a skewed, I would say 3-day balance day, right? And if you're to rotate this picture a little bit, 180, you will see you're a little bit skewed to the left, right? They have access on the bottom here from the gap zone. So now, right, what you're doing, it's a two-sided activity, right? Until they can crack, let's say, this level of 51 and don't fall back immediately inside, that would be bullish, right? So if they are able to clear this right here and stay above it, that's great. If you're able to clear this level here about 28 and 25, this zone would be critical, I guess. So maybe 3-point zone that you don't want to mess with. Does everybody remember where the 25 is coming from?
Was it on a ledge from a few days ago?
It was the ledge of the Wednesday, right? Remember, it was the value area low, the ledge. They tried a couple of times to crack it, right? And then you have some support, So if they're able to lose this zone, then I wouldn't be really shocked that they clean up the gap, they go to the HVN here, and then this would be the target, final target. And I would think that this is doable probably by maybe mid-December, that we're going to be, if we reach this level, probably a good idea to start closing any shorts you have for the last 2 weeks of December. As you come here, if they do something like this, close it. Close the puts if you have any. Unless, we start a war and we have a major dip. Usually wars end up being bullish. But I would look to close any puts that you might have around this level here. Here would be a good spot, and then right below you have around 66.50 if they decide to be super nice for the SPY puts. That'd be really nice that, to get them down here, but I doubt it. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's see. On a larger picture, right, when you just look at what's been happening so far, kind of zoom out, right, and look to the left. Let me just increase I think we'll have to go 7. Okay. Let's remove a bunch of text. Oops. I'm telling you, I think I only see my right eye at this point. All right, so when you look at this picture right now, we're very close to all-time highs, right? We're not too far from all-time highs. We went, to the lows that we talked about, and now, you're cracking out of this value area, right? The gray area is the value out of the time frame that we're in right now. So from like September 8th. And they're trying to do what now? So previously, you did not build value here much. You didn't stay here much. You stayed 2 days, you dumped, You stayed 3 days, you dumped. Well, we are here for how many days?
3 days.
The
3 days
odd
and a
zone.
tighter value area as well.
Yeah, so there's a very high chance we're going to get a break tomorrow. A very good chance that we're going to be running tomorrow. So just don't be caught on the wrong side of the trend. The only way, the way you play these breakouts, right? Let's say you go above here and, you crack and you're, doing something like this. People start shorting here for some reason, right? You'll start shorting, but really when you're breaking the balance, you should kind of treat the balance on a short is if it breaks that balance high, and in this case only had one tap, which is somewhere around here, and maybe you treat it something like this, right? So if you go above the balance and you lose it, you can definitely take the short. You're better off shorting the the 3-day value area high once they lose that, because you have a much better probability to have a short that works out in your favor. So let's say they crack this and they lose this, just wait. Let them lose this. Let them get this 3-day, and then you're targeting this, right? 51 to 25 is pretty good. Don't be greedy that you want to short, the top and drive this for 70 points. 25 points is plenty, right? If you can catch this from here to here, and you have 80% chance to be right. Let them close, below it. Let's say maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes below it. Any retest higher, short that, and let them go under all the way to the 3-day value area low. It's a little bit better to be late than early when you're trading or shorting here or going long. And same is true on the bottom side, right? So let's say they, this here.
Hey, Shorty, where'd that red zone come from?
Say it again.
Where'd that red zone come from?
Oh, that's from the monthly profile. Right? That was the monthly LVN, if you remember.
Oh, okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep. So if you guys recall, good question. If you don't recall, we had this monthly LVN at one point. I think it added a few TPOs here just because we've been trading there. But this was the zone we were watching, right? So if you're able to crack this, then ultimately, the zone that they're respecting in between here is probably this, but ultimately they will tap this, I would say, poor high that we have at the all-time highs. So if they can crack this, most likely you're going to run 69.20. And that's about another 60 points, right? And you see that they're building value right here. And then, this monthly, I guess from October 1st, almost 2 months, your SIG1 is sitting kind of like right here. So you lose this, you have a really, really high chance you're going to be running towards this HVN here, or call it a TPOC right now. It's sitting right here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So for long, we should wait till we retest 62.
Yeah, let them go over this. You want them to go here. Let them go over and then give you the go ahead. If you go here and they immediately trap the longs, I mean, because I'm telling you, this profile here, if they fail here, this is going to be quick. It's going to be mighty quick here to fix.
Yeah, it doesn't look very stable.
Yeah, I mean, all I see is kind of like, you put a bunch of ladders together to reach something and you tape them with duct tape, and that's what this looks like to me. It will flush.
Yes, it's 3 weeks to end of December, Christmas time, right? The bonus
Yep.
time.
I would expect them to, if I was to time this, I would expect them to start cycle up on the 15th. So somewhere around, I'll just put it here. So we should reach lows by here, by this date. So that's kind of how I would treat it. And I'm not saying go along blindly, right? If you see markets just selling off, don't hit a buy button, right? If you're coming here, let's say to 50 level and they reclaim it on around this date, 14, 15, might be a good idea to close the shorts and then look for the bonus rally, right? To go there. And I don't really care which way it goes. I just want to make money as well. So I'm not really married to it. Any questions on ES? So it's just a balance, 3-day balance. We're going to play the break or look above and fail, look below and fails. They might play. But this looks like a nasty profile, right? If you think about, pretty sure a lot of volume is also here. And if you just change this guy a little bit to the right. So here's this, right? So if they're not able to kind of agree on this value, and the flush that's going to come to fill this poor structure is going to be pretty quick.
Yeah, Shorty, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Diamond tops, as far as I've seen them, they're almost always successful. I mean, I guess you can't say always, of course, but
What
usually
tops?
once they appear, they will make a move. Obviously, if it's a smaller time frame, not as aggressive. A higher time frame will be more aggressive, from what I understand, at least.
What are you talking about? Sorry, what did you say?
The diamond top or diamond
Oh, the
bottom.
diamond. Yeah.
Diamond top.
So I mean, it's a 3-day diamond, right? And for others that don't know, he's just saying that something like this. I'm not trying to draw it perfectly. So something like this, right? Close enough for government's work.
Yeah.
So something like this, right? So the break of this typically will, I would say, be aggressive, and you most likely are going to go to 67, 64 out of this. And actually, you can measure the diamond tops. I don't know if you know or not. You can measure the diamond top. So this one goes to about here. So right here, weekly halfback in that area, that's what the measure would be.
Nice. So my follow-up question was going to be, or actually, I wasn't really a question, but anyways, is there a way to use fib extensions to get your ideal, like where you would want to enter on a diamond top, or no, that's not really a thing?
No, I don't think that's a thing. I mean, in the top, it's difficult. What you want to do, at least I took a short earlier today with 2ES. I mean, just pay attention to what's happening when you peak above these levels. So I'll just add the value area high here and here so everybody can see it. So if this is our value area high and low for 3 days, right?
Is it 3 days or 4 days?
Well, Friday doesn't, I wouldn't count really Friday just because there's not much there. Like this day doesn't really count.
3.5.
3.5, yeah. So you can see, where this value is, right? So right now it's sitting around 51 with the 2 days. You merge these 2 days right here, probably going to be around here. Okay, so here's this one, 47 to about 51. And you see us kind of bouncing and playing in this zone. So when you're in a two-sided activity like we are right now, the best thing is that you draw the fibs, not the fibs, I'm sorry, the first standard deviations and see what it looks like. So you get in somewhere around here, and here's your value area high sitting at 47, low is sitting right about 26. You peak above and you lose it, and you can take that short. And I think at one point today, I was like, man, I really want to short this. And I think it was right towards the close here that I was shorting. But anytime you went above, you lost this. Look where it went. It went exactly to the opposite side. So when it's two-sided activity, that means the short. Who's in control, actually? Let me ask you that way.
Short term.
Short term.
What does short term look for?
I don't know.
Fair value.
They're looking for fair value. I mean, just think of it this way, right? If you're buying shoes for yourself, you're looking for fair value to buy it. If you're a wholesale buyer, what are you looking for?
Advantageous price.
Cheaper.
Well, you want it much cheaper because you got to sell it, right? To others, you have other costs associated with that. So I don't know if there was actually a show, I forgot the name of it, where the guy's called like a super buyer. Like he goes in and makes these, I don't know if it was like a $10 million or $100 million purchases, And he goes to these vendors and he's like, well, what's your price? And they're like 50. He's like, I can offer $22 and I'll buy $100 million. And people are like, no, thank you. And sometimes they bite, right? Just because of the volume and they get a cheaper deal because he's buying something at 22 and he can sell it. Let's say instead of selling it for 50 like that vendor or whatever approach they have, brick and mortar or online sales, he's able to sell it at 44, undercut them, and he gets all the traffic and he bought them at 20 something, right? And it's the same thing with other time frame buyers. They're the wholesale buyers or wholesale sellers. They want to buy cheap and they want to sell higher, but they want to buy with large volumes at a cheaper price. When you have short-term activity here, this is just, us, I would say short-term traders trading. Oh, it's above value, dipped inside, sell it. Go on the bottom, dip below, buy it, and repeat. And look how many times they did it today. Let me just delete.
So today was a neutral day, right?
Yeah, just a very neutral day. So you can look at it many ways right here. So here's this. They have a perfect distribution, I would say, today. So I wouldn't look for too much here. And even if you just look at the value from day prior, the value is shifting somewhat higher here, but in balance, it really doesn't matter. That's why we draw, I would say that 3 days or 2 days here. You draw it and you see right now. So you peak above 50, lose it, you're going to the bottom. You can target the POC as a midpoint. If you take multiple contracts, take it from there. If not, then target the bottom and keep repeating till it doesn't work. Are there odds that one of them will not work? Yes. Because if they decide to break it, most likely it won't work and you'll just get stopped, and that's okay. A lot of you guys need to accept that not every trade will go your way.
That's true. It's just hard when like you have like 3 or 4 that haven't gone your way in the last trading sessions, and you're like, oh damn it.
Well, and that happens, and that's normal as well. Because when all 4 go in your session, what changes is that your ego steps in, and I feel like the best trader in the world. When it doesn't go in your direction, instead of acting as a professional trader, people become nutcrackers and they just go and do wild stuff, and they think market's fighting them and they increase size to recover, and then you blow up.
Mathematically, you can be wrong 18 times in a row or correct 18 times in a row.
True. So
I break those laws.
but I think days like this are fairly easy to make money. My favorite is trading balances because they're just a limited risk, limited reward, right? And people that don't treat them as such, let's say people that short the bottoms, typically you're like, oh crap,
Smoke.
They're gonna reverse every time.
It's hard when you think about it out loud. Of course, you're like, yeah, obviously easy, short the bottom, long the bottom, short the top. But price doesn't exactly go to the exact place. Hard to know where it will go and then where it will go up to. Because you can say, oh, for example, along the bottom there and take it all the way to the top, but it didn't exactly reach the top. It retraced again. Like, it's just to comprehend that is a little bit. I guess it takes experience.
It's experience, but also it's trusting yourself and not oversizing. Let's say here today we dipped below here, and I'm just gonna go in 5 minutes, right? So here, let's just turn this guy on. So obviously, this is your day here. This is after now. And if you look at this, I'll just turn this on so you guys can see it. So here's your value, right? Let me hide the drawings. So here's your value, right? And anytime you dip below the value and you reclaimed it, what did it do?
It went back up.
It went back up, and look, almost every single time it came back to prior day value area high. Not a single time did it not come back.
Do you still wait for like a retest, like 5 minutes above, and then retest and then go for this?
Ideally, yes. But if you look at, for instance, the candles and you just pay attention to volume, the retail will help you. They tend to help a little bit sometimes here because it's low volume day. If you go on a daily, it's not like it was, today wasn't really a lot of volume, right? It was below average, far from average. So they can tell you, right, when they're hopping in, you can kind of follow. So here's today, right, at 11:30, you have a massive sell-off coming in, and then you have a candle that's called indecision, right? You don't know which way we're going, a lot of volume. Then you kind of put in the lower high and lower low. When you crack this candle right here, when you make that high, you can put stop loss maybe below here, right here, below this, or the value area low, and you're okay. I'm pretty sure your trade will work out 9 out of 10 times. So if you did this and you targeted, where was the prior day value? And your stop loss slightly below, I mean, that's a pretty decent trade, 3 to 1. And it worked, I would say it worked twice, and even on the short side, it worked. So here, tap, tap. First point is always the POC, and this one was the developing POC, and this is your prior day. Right around here somewhere. I think it works. I just think if you size up and you don't give it enough room, I think that's where you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Hey, Shorty.
Mhm.
I was gonna ask, would this be like a good overnight short if they do lose that 51?
I think the 52 was a good short, yeah.
Yeah.
And if they lose this POC here, yes. I would wait now to see if they lose this around 50, right around 50.
Is that ideally where you would go in short if they lose that?
Yeah, they lose it. What I would want to see right now, and they will do it. They go here, give me some sort of retest and a pullback, and then you can get in, target this, and then maybe somewhere around here. Something like that. And I'm pretty sure they're going to get there.
Hey, Shorty, I got 2 questions.
Brian, you can only do one.
So today we tapped the poor high like to a T. I was curious, how come we didn't fix it today?
You don't have to fix it today. No, you don't
Okay.
have to. No. There's no rule that says, hey, I have a poor high, immediately come and fix it. Right? And it could be that there's just an exhaustion, you didn't get any new buyers, right? And you're in a balance, right? So to break a balance, what do you need?
Volume and aggression.
Well, you need other time frame participants to come in, and if it's a two-sided activity for 3 days, what are the odds that they're going to come in to clean it up?
Not very high.
Maybe, and then if you look at the day types that you had, and if you look at the initial balance that you had, so when you have an initial balance that's as wide as this one, it's above average. What are the odds you're going to break this?
Not very high. But how many points is that?
This one's 46, I believe, today. It was the highest of all of the days. So the volatility is increasing, right? So it's almost like, something's cooking and the top is kind of shaking a little bit. That's what this means. And you closed, I would say, perfectly almost at fib, at the 50% of today. Can't see this text. Yeah, so right here somewhere. So you close right at 50%. That's pretty good.
So would you just treat a poor high as like any other level, pretty much? Like it could reject or it could go over it?
Well, I mean, it depends, right? So if you're in a balance and you have a poor high, can they clean it up and that looks like that sets up like a great look above and fail? Yes. So if they leave a poor high and the next day, let's say this is balance day, let's say this IB wasn't as wide, probably higher chance that it was going to crack that on a D shape than any other day, right? When you have a D shape, usually you can go up and down from top to the bottom. So I would say on these shapes, there's a higher chance you're going to clear the highs and lows and execute the 80%. Very good odds that you will. But when your balance is 45 points, and this is really a neutral day, odds are still there, but the balance is pretty high. Volatility is there as well. So don't write it off, but imbalances you look above and fails on those poor highs.
Gotcha. Was the balance 40 today? I feel like mine was 20 or something. Is my settings off?
Initial balance?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Because I feel like I screwed myself over because I was trying to play the small initial balance. So like every time it tested either the top or the bottom, I would go the other way.
Maybe I messed myself up here.
And then I got wrecked.
So today, then, they would change the date type because if the initial balance is this much, then it changes slightly. So we did tap the 2x, which would make it extended typical, right? Perfect extended typical then type of day.
But I thought that only neutral days have failed breakouts in both directions. Or am I misremembering the people?
No, you're correct. Yeah. So you have it here and you have it here. And when that happens, you're typically going to close at 50% of the range. And I don't know where it falls exactly.
Okay, but then wait, unless I misunderstood you, it sounded like you said today was actually a typical day.
It was till I looked at the IB. I had the IB selected from a different time period.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
so
was a good catch.
my IB was set from a different, I guess, time zone maybe. I
Your
had it
eyes aren't
9:30
too
till
good today.
10:30. Well, there's something's just off.
Yeah, somebody was saying something about that the other day, which is weird because I thought IB was from 9:30 to 10:30, but
It
yet
is,
when
but
you go into the settings, like you have to put it pre that for it to get it correct. I don't know. That's kind of weird. It's like to me that's a glitch.
Yeah, it's for the Chicago time zone, so it's central.
Yeah.
But if you go for SPY, it'll be 9:30 to 10:30. That's why.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
We also came off the DST, right?
Say it again.
We just came off the daylight savings time as well.
That's
so
correct. Yeah. Maybe that's kind of what happened, probably. But needless to say, but I typically actually would, on TPOs, you do have the initial balance as well.
Yeah.
And that one is usually more accurate than anything. And it's not based on any code. It's just based on the 2 periods. It doesn't matter what time frame you're on.
Pretty last question for now. So D-shaped profiles are the ones that where have failed breakouts on both directions. Is that exclusively for that or no?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a IB that's on top and you fail an IB on the bottom, and on the bottom you spent a lot more time below the IB, you tried to get back inside and then you failed, and you close right on the bottom of it. But it is a neutral day because you had access on and failure on both sides.
But for the profile, does that equal the same? Like, if you just look at profile, that means
as
that
a profile, it's just a neutral day. It's a D shape, right?
Okay.
It's a perfect distro here.
That PDF can be ready anytime soon.
I actually have it almost. I had one thing that was remaining, and I added 2 things to it last night. So I'll see if I can get it done.
Excellent.
All right. And if you guys are Intel, shareholders, I don't know if you guys are celebrating yet, but we did reach the final target for this year at 43.48. So next is, if you guys are still in, it's about 68, 69. And then I think the next target that we had was 120 or so after that. So we're trying to get inside the zone. If you're able to get inside the zone, that would be massive. And you can see where we're knocking right now. So ideally, we want to go right here. Right, you crack, if you're able to clear that, and then you want to use some fibs, right? If you do something like this, and then just do extensions, this would be the next levels you're after.
I got shares, but kind of wish I got options.
Yeah, some of us have options as well for next year. So timing was perfect by Trump to talk about everything he talked about. Somebody had a question.
Yeah, real quick on the bracketed market. I know today was kind of the first day you discussed it, but yesterday I charted it basically the same way, and that's what I traded off of today. Would that be? I mean, I know it worked today, but
That's exactly what you do. You always trade
okay,
off the prior day. Yeah.
just making sure that
Yeah.
you know, it didn't even change much at all. Like I think the 25 and the 50 is what I traded off of today.
Yeah, and I mean that's what you're supposed to do. So here's your, value area high was sitting around 52.75, and your low was sitting here. You basically came and explored the whole value. Once you lost it here, you went and executed 80% all the way down. And then basically you're just closing within the value now. You're just a clear balance.
Okay, thanks.
Did you end up buying more TTD? No.
Not yet. I didn't I really want them to sweep the lows. I'm trying to be, patient, see
The
if they
low
give
looks
me.
horrible. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they give us something like this, and then it would fly. I want them to execute this.
Sure.
So we'll see. Let's wait another week and see. Hopefully, it just doesn't take off the news or something to like 60 without us in full position.
Yeah.
I have okay amount, but I would maybe tripling.
Cool. Thanks.
I need Pfizer over $30, just so you know I'm saving the whole world, because the minute I sell them, it'll go up.
Well, I mean, it's been consolidating almost for a long time now. So the longer the consolidation, the higher the run as well.
I'm starting to think
Meanwhile,
that's what Snap is
something-
doing.
Who's doing?
I think that's what Snap is doing, consolidating.
Yeah, I really like Snap for long term. I really like them as a company.
Do you see
Yeah.
any chance Pfizer might dip to 20s again?
Hope so.
That's why I'm asking.
I think there's a chance. I mean, if they can, at least give us below 23, that would be a great entry as well. That would be really, really nice if they can do that. I mean, their dividend is pretty nice. I don't know if anyone's an ET, but this is coming up again to a really good buy spot here. So you can expect it to go about 16.5, and then you can expect the bounce as well on it. And they have 8% yield as well.
No chance for it to go to 15, right?
15 would be, I mean, if they give us 15, that's here.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I'll definitely add here.
But it's highly unlikely with winter coming in. I don't see it happening. That's my concern.
And that's, I know. I mean, they're going to switch from summer to winter, and I'm pretty sure their costs are going to go higher as well. And your rates are going to go higher on gas soon.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, one of my friends owns a big company in Europe, actually. I just talked to him this morning. He owns a massive company for Eastern Europe gas, and they are switching from Russian pipelines to US pipelines that are being built.
Why would that make it more expensive for us?
Well, I mean, the travel from US pipelines to Eastern Europe versus Russia to Eastern Europe, it's a little bit shorter distance too.
True.
But I think Trump put a lot of fear into Europe. You know, they're so reliant on Russia that any wrong move and he can just turn off the pipes and then you're gonna freeze through the winter, right?
Yeah.
So I think Europe's trying to do the right thing, and actually American companies are paying for the pipe installs, which is pretty rare. For a company laying it down to also install it, pay for it. So there's a bigger motive than, you know, that just to sell, I guess, gas.
And Shorty, how does this war impact like energy company prices and all, like the stock price? Is there any relation?
Typically you dip and then they recover fairly quick. And I would expect them, if they can dip here to about 6,600 or like, let's say 6,400 on ES, that would be gold. The cloud is still closed. Actually, it's getting worse now. So I did add more buy puts today. So about 660, 632, and then it would be somewhere around 6681. That would be, this is highly feasible at this point. So about maybe what, the 200 points drop, which is not bad. That's okay. It would put us in the money on spy puts.
I'd love to not miss that boat.
Yeah, well, I'm in the boat right now on spy puts.
You're in the yacht.
Yeah. So it should be okay here. And if they give me another opportunity somewhere around here that they push it one more time, might be another ad. Cloud's closed. Typically, I would say Astro. I haven't seen them miss too much when the cloud's closed as it is right now. That it doesn't execute. So you can take a look. Let's just zoom in here. So here's this scenario, right? Cloud closed. Then they came back and then they executed it all the way to the bottom. And then the same thing happens here, right? So if you look about, you know, they went above, they never really gave you a retest on this cloud, and they haven't been at the bottom of this since April. And that is bullshit.
We're due. We're due.
Yeah, we're due for a pullback, and I'm pretty sure this is coming soon. So keep an eye on it. I think it's going to happen here next 2 weeks, in my opinion.
Hey, Shorty,
Is it
remember we
true?
bought a MU at like 80? Have
Yeah.
you seen it lately?
MU, yeah. I closed a lot of MU. I closed a lot of MU already. So I'm not interested in buying at these prices just yet. The one that I'm really pissed about, I don't know if you guys remember. We had a watch list, like one of the stock scans, when we talked about this company here. I would say this was a while back. It was around 50, 60s. And man, I was really debating, you know, how heavy do I go on this? Do I not? Do I go? And I chickened out on the size, but man, this thing took off. Seagate just exploded. I mean, you're talking about 68 to 290 on a company like this, and now it's ready for a pullback. I wouldn't touch it, you know, till about 170. Then it might be interesting, right? So once it comes here, I'll be interested again.
Yeah, I think it was 60s when we were talking about it.
Yeah, man, I think it was around at some point.
And what is that? What company is that?
Oh, Seagate.
Seagate.
Yeah,
They make hard
storage.
drives.
Oh yeah.
They used to make they were the best hard drive makers, then they tanked. Now they make just crappy hard drives.
That's what happens when you get private equity sometimes to come in and control your product.
Possible.
I don't know. Do you guys know Jimmy John's, the sandwich place?
Yep.
Go have a sub there and tell me how it was.
I mean, it's been a while, but it was pretty decent when I ate it.
So previously, the sub over there was like this big. Now your
Yeah.
sub is like this big.
I haven't eaten in over a year. I don't know.
Yeah, you should go. It's pretty interesting. They're owned by
You know they make pills for that, right, Rockets?
Oh, God.
That's a crazy joke.
That was a good joke. That was a pretty good joke. Sorry, ladies. Just a bunch of guys here, I guess.
Locker room talk.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Don't do that.
Stop right there, sir.
Well, Drew is known for making weird noises on watch lists and stuff like that, so I don't want to encourage him too much.
All right.
All right,
Right,
guys.
I would know.
Some Benadryl, man. You probably have an allergic reaction that usually only happens from that.
Yeah, I really don't know. Actually, I have to. One of my friends, a doctor, I just sent him like a picture. He said that I just have to go and check my kidneys as well. Because I had it happen before, and he just said probably a good time to go check. And then I have a procedure Thursday because I chipped my tooth, so they're gonna go fix that. And then on Monday, we're flying to Spain to watch Real Madrid game with the kiddos.
Well, congrats.
Yeah.
Dang, don't fall apart on us.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. First the finger, then the tooth, then
We
now
need-
It's been one of the worst years health-wise for me. And I've had COVID 12 times, and I say this when I say it seriously. It's been one of the worst years health-wise. And I guess I neglected my health, working out and everything, just got lazy.
But
I'm
12
starting to
times?
change. I've had
Yeah,
COVID like
12
12 times.
Yeah.
Bro,
I
you
just don't go to
basically
doctor a
collected
lot.
all the variants like the Infinity Stones.
Yeah. I don't go to doctor a lot. To really break something to go. Unless it's a kidney stone, then I go to doctor. And they give you some good meds.
Yep.
I bet your doctor does.
Better than Colombia?
No, not better than Colombia. I hope we don't start a war with Colombia. You cannot lose. I don't want to get a visa when I go there. You just need the free whenever.
I heard him mention it.
I don't know.
He mentioned
I hope he doesn't. There's a lot of good things there. Beautiful country.
I've heard.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night. We'll see you
All right,
guys
good night.
tomorrow. I'll try to
Thank
get
you.
on in the morning. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Shorty.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you.